All right, welcome back to the channel. So, the WBC responds to Dillian White saying that he was going to sue the WBC to enforce the date of his mandatory title shot for the WBC belt. The WBC responds, and honestly, I can't believe that I missed this when I did my first video about it. But their response is pretty, dead on point. Let's talk about what Dillian White said and what the WBC responded with in this video. All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So, Dillian White is the WBC, what is he, the silver champion? Something like that. But he's the mandatory challenger for Tyson Fury's WBC belt. He says earlier this week, that he was planning on suing the WBC to enforce it. Now, why would he feel that he needed to sue the WBC to get this mandatory title defense? The reason is that Tyson Fury came out and said on Instagram, you can't make this stuff up, that the fight between two-fight deal has been agreed to between himself and Anthony Joshua to take place after the WBC, after he defends his title against Deontay Wilder, the third fight in that trilogy. So once that happened, Dillian White felt like, wow, and it's reasonable. Hey, that means that my fight, I'm supposed to get a fight by February of 2021. If they do that, if Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fight a two-fight deal after the fight with Deontay Wilder, then I'm not going to get my title shot on time. So he files a lawsuit. I suppose he filed a lawsuit. I don't know. He might have been talking out the side of his neck, and Mauricio Sulaiman might be responding to Dillian White talking out the side of his neck. But Mauricio Sulaiman responds, and he says, I don't know what this guy is talking about. I'm going to add a little flavor to this because I can see that he might very well be frustrated with this particular circumstance. Because he said, I don't know what is this dude complaining about? First of all, we didn't create the coronavirus that postponed the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight. We didn't do that, right? Because they were supposed to, I think the fight was supposed to be in October, right? They fought in February. The rematch, the third fight was supposed to be in October. But then the coronavirus hit. And once the coronavirus hit, everything got held up. So there's no way that they could have the fight in October. That's not up to them. But Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder have a rematch clause, so that fight's got to go on. And then he said after that though, the other side of it is that there's not been any fight made between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. That's Tyson Fury talking. That's Eddie Hearn talking. That's I'm not saying that's Anthony Joshua talking, but that hasn't even come to fruition. So really, what exactly is the WBC supposed to do about it? Like, they can't do anything about it. They don't have the authority to tell Tyson Fury not to have conversations through Daniel Kinahan, international mob boss, the pride of Northern Ireland, as I was told in one of these notes. I'm telling you, man, we got some people listening to these videos. Hey, I'm telling you right now, to y'all, just because I said something about Daniel Kinahan, don't mean I'm trying to stop none of y'all money, okay? I'm just putting out there what's already in the news. There ain't no need to get all hot and bothered about me. Little old, small old, ain't bothering nobody me, okay? But, man, I did that video about Daniel Kinahan. Somebody came through the chat with pride. It was like, you damn right, too. We run this ish. Ah, that's hilarious, man. So, anyway, the WBC doesn't have any ability whatsoever to prevent people from having negotiations about making fights. And the WBC didn't have anything to do with the coronavirus hitting and boxing being postponed. In fact, I'm quite sure that the WBC would love nothing more than to have as many boxing matches as they possibly can have in the smallest time frame possible. They don't have any problem with Dillian White. I don't believe they have any problem with Dillian White getting that championship belt. Now, that's not to say that Dillian White ain't going to have a problem getting his hands on that WBC belt, because the most important thing that came out is that Tyson Fury said he ain't fighting Dillian White. Tyson Fury said it. I'm not fighting Dillian White. I'm not interested in a fight with Dillian White. He's small potatoes. I'm trying to make a bunch of money. That's what Tyson Fury said. And Tyson Fury doesn't see that in Dillian White. And neither does Anthony Joshua. And neither does Eddie Hearn. And neither does Deontay Wilder. Like, Deontay Wilder would have fought you, but you decided not to fight. Let's be honest, Dillian. You decided not to fight Deontay Wilder. I still don't get why he would take the route that he took. He could have been, this whole thing about Dillian White getting a title shot could have been handled. He had multiple occasions to get a championship fight with Deontay Wilder. Multiple. And he also should have had multiple chances to get a championship for the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO. Now, even though I am definitely saying, hey, man, I am not going to get on the WBC for this one, and I'm not. Okay, I get on the WBC for a lot of things. But I'm not going to get on them for something that they absolutely have no way that they could work themselves, or no way they could work themselves around. And also, to be honest, when you have situations like with Tyson Fury, dude, that ain't Deontay Wilder. That's not Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder would fight Dillian White as the mandatory. I have no doubt in my mind that he would do that. Now, the reason Deontay Wilder wasn't all in a hurry to do it is because of Dillian White and Eddie Hearn. Because Deontay Wilder's looking to get a shot at an undisputed title with Anthony Joshua. You know, the one champion, one face, one name is what he was trying to do. And Eddie Hearn used Dillian White as a way to block it. But even then, Deontay Wilder gave him several opportunities to fight for that belt. All you had to do was fight Luis Ortiz. If you would have fought Luis Ortiz and beat Luis Ortiz, then boom, you're fighting for a championship. Because Luis Ortiz got the shot. Why would Deontay, if Dillian White had beaten Luis Ortiz, why would Deontay Wilder go out of his way to fight Luis Ortiz coming up off of a loss? Right? So, coming off of a loss to Dillian White. Deontay Wilder would not say, hey, yeah, you fight Dillian, you fight Luis Ortiz, you beat Luis Ortiz, then you'll get the voluntary shot from me. We don't even need to do the voluntary thing, because he had already agreed that he was going to fight Luis Ortiz. Remember, this Deontay Wilder, the Tyson Fury back-to-back fight their thing winds up being a trilogy, but this was behind Luis Ortiz. They were just following the Luis Ortiz blueprint with Tyson Fury to try to get to the stage where he could get enough recognition to where they would force your boss to make that fight instead of trying to push you, Dillian White, off on him. But again, so that's just the Deontay Wilder side of it. The Deontay Wilder side of it. But then the other side of it is, what's wrong with you fighting Anthony Joshua? I mean, for real. Why? Povetkin got the show. Why not you? Why not Povetkin? Why Povetkin and not you? Now, I know there was Povetkin a mandatory for the WBA. Was he the mandatory for the WBA? Still wouldn't have mattered, because you were ranked high enough to be in the WBA that you could have, if Eddie Hearn wanted to push for you to be the mandatory, you would have got the mandatory shot. You could have had the voluntary shot. Hey, don't you think it's funny that that of all the people that Dillian White talks about fighting, Anthony Joshua is the one that they speak about the least? It's just, Dillian's just full of smack, man. It's just full of, just get out of here. But to sue somebody, to talk about suing somebody, and they haven't even done anything, that sounds mighty Dillian-ish. I mean, that dude doesn't even know how long he's been the mandatory, and apparently doesn't know the difference between a mandatory challenger and the number one contender. Plus, I don't think Dillian Whyte is that good a fighter. Like it's like sitting around and waiting for some mid-level fight to happen that you don't really care about, and the outcome's not in doubt. And I think that also has a lot to do with the reason why he ultimately didn't fight Deontay Wilder, because he knew he was going to lose, and he knew he was going to lose. Only dude I think he had a chance to beat. He had a chance to beat Dominic Breazeale, a chance to beat Dominic Breazeale. But for me, I think Dominic Breazeale and Dillian Whyte is a 50-50 fight. I think he's that level of fighter, like who cares level of fighter. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know your take, and with that, I'm out. Peace.